All right, so bucketing is a strategy that will kind of help you get ready to write the actual DBQ. So if you look right here at these directions, it says bucketing. Look over all the documents, organize them into your final buckets. What you do is you write labels under each bucket and place the letters of the documents in the buckets where they belong. It is okay to put a document in more than one bucket. Remember, your buckets are going to become your body paragraphs. So you know, just looking at this, that you have 3 body paragraphs. You have 1 body paragraph, 2 body paragraph, 3 body paragraphs. This is an organizational strategy, and instead of you having to go back and try to figure out while you're writing what documents to use to cite in your body paragraphs for support, this organizes it for you. So if you look back at all the documents that we did, which was A through E, you would have seen that if you were going to write 1 body paragraph, and again, you're writing about Macbeth, who's in control. So don't lose sight of that. It's Macbeth, who's in control. And that's the whole thing. So if you wrote the first paragraph was going to be about the Weir sisters have some control over Macbeth, then you know that the documents that we read would have been document A, document D, and document E. Those documents talked about the Weir sisters' controls over Macbeth. So you know that in body paragraph 1, all you would do is focus on those documents, and that's all you would cite in that paragraph. Document 2, if you wrote about Lady Macbeth, which you're going to have to write about all 3 of these people, which is why I'm writing them, then you know that the Lady Macbeth documents only featured document B and document C. So you could only cite from that document. So we're setting this up with the Weir sisters have some blame, and then Lady Macbeth has some blame. But just like in reality, in real life, ultimately, if you are the person that's doing the actions, the blame mostly falls on you because you have free will, and the choice is always, you don't have to do something that somebody tells you to do. So ultimately, Macbeth should have been a bigger man and said he didn't want to do it and didn't do it, and he shouldn't have done it. So he has the most blame because he is the person committing the actions. And he could have said no, and he could have chose not to do it, but he didn't. So ultimately, yes, these people right here influenced his decision, but Macbeth is the main person. He did the stuff. So documents A, C, D, and E feature Macbeth, which makes sense because he is the main character. The play is Macbeth, and he's in all the documents because the play is about him. All right, so you know what your body paragraphs are going to be. These are your body paragraphs. And you know you got to have your intro and your conclusion to sandwich them like a sandwich. So what you always have to have is a thesis in your introduction. For your thesis, you kind of call it a chicken foot, but it's your roadmap of your paper. Without a thesis, your paper just doesn't make sense. So you always have to have a thesis. So a thesis you could write for this one, you know that you're going to have a paragraph about the Weir sisters. So you know on this part, it's hard to write with this thing. You know this one's going to be about Weir sisters. You know this one's going to be Lady Macbeth. And you know this next one's going to be Macbeth. So you got to write about the first part of it. So you could say something like, and you know one of the Wubis words, I like although. Although the Weir sisters, I may run out of room, sisters and Lady Macbeth have some control over events in the play. Macbeth has the most control. So all of y'all can have the same thesis. This right here, this part, all of this right here, that is your thesis. Again, it goes at the end of your introduction. So this is how you set up your paper for writing a DBQ or writing any essay that's making you, not just a DBQ, any essay that's making you argue for anybody's blame or making you argue for something. You always have to have your body paragraphs and you always have to have your citations. And this is just a way or formula to help you bucket it and organize it so that you kind of know where to go when you are writing your paper. All right, so I hope this is helpful. So this is the bucketing paper.